you look at the
Mhm.
system, and the Guardians have a really young major league team. So
Yes.
so a lot of the guys that would be in the minors are now in the big leagues, which has created a little bit of a vacuum in the farm system. Who's in that next wave in the minors that's coming up that fans want to listen to? I think you mentioned Vasquez. Ralphie Vasquez is a guy that's pretty highly thought of. Who's in that next wave of the younger prospects for the Guardians?
Yeah, I do like Velasquez. He's off to a really good start this year, which is great to see. He's got to hit, right? If it's just going to be first base for him, he has got to hit and hit for some power. But so far, we're seeing that in a pretty good approach as well, which is really nice to see. I think what we see a lot of is with these high school hitters, particularly since they get pushed right to low A now because there's no short season anymore. It's been a challenge. It's been a big problem for a lot of guys. But when you do make that leap, that's a really, really positive sign. Jason Churio, who's also on that low A Lynchburg club, younger brother of the Brewers rookie center fielder, showing a great approach. He is kind of physically undersized right now, but he has some projection. He's going to get bigger. So the power hasn't shown up yet, but I do feel reasonably confident that the power is going to come at some point. I mean, that Lynchburg club is fun. If folks have, I don't know, folks listening from around the country too, you get a chance to run in and see Lynchburg. They're on my hit list to try to get at some point this year. When they come closer to me, I live in Delaware, so they will at some point come reasonably close to me. I still like Jose Tena. I know we saw him in big leagues a little bit last year. He was, maybe a little bit overmatched. I think he's a really good player. I think if he gets just some swing consistency down, um, he's never going to be a high on base guy, but I think he's going to hit for some average and some power, and he can play somewhere in the infield. That may also just make him trade bait. That's also entirely possible. Just recognizing infield is not a particular area of need for them right now. I know a lot of other clubs and a lot of other scouts who really like Tina and would love to be able to kind of get their hands on him and maybe make some little adjustments. Last one I'll throw out there, he's not having a good year in Lynchburg, but I think he's a good example of a guy who probably should have been in short season. Alex Clemmy, super athletic lefty they took in last year's draft. He'd been up to 100. He's 6'6". He needs some delivery help, but he's in the right organization for that. The results have not been good this year. He's also barely 18, I think. Yeah, he won't even turn 19. He's 18 for this season. He won't turn 19 until after the All-Star break. I do like him long term. But long term, right? He's going to be a slow developer. And I look at the stat line for him and say, you know what? He should be at that intermediate level that doesn't exist anymore. This was a big jump for a kid from Rhode Island, of Rhode Island High School, to go out and pitch directly in low A. And he's having some challenges, but I hear the stuff is good. The athleticism is still there. And it would not surprise me if a year or two from now, he shows up one spring and the delivery's different because Cleveland has worked with him. And then we start to see the walk numbers come down and then the pure stuff plays up.